I'm just like
I
trying
can
to
be
get them.
loud.
Yeah, I know. I know. So, all right, you ready?
Yeah.
Well, hey everybody, this is Chad Jordan from the Sport Clips marketing department. This is another edition of our Hall of Fame podcast. It's going to be a great one, I can guarantee you. I apologize for the sound of my voice. I'm getting over pneumonia. So hopefully by next week's podcast, the sound quality will be better. But enough about me. No one's tuning in to hear me. Everybody wants to hear, especially from our guest today. So why don't we have you introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, all that fun stuff, and get us rolling here.
Awesome. What's up, everybody? My name is Krystle Sierras. How are you guys? Wait, so first of all, pneumonia is not contagious, right?
No, yeah,
Okay,
you're
just
good.
checking.
Yeah, we're fine.
All right, cool. Yeah, so that's who I am. I work for Sport Clips. Been with Sport Clips actually. This year will be 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's crazy. But yeah, so where do I start?
Okay, so you are with Sport Clips, but what do you do? Like, are you a stylist or what's going on?
So I started off as a stylist, actually.
Yeah?
Straight out of beauty school, which was funny.
Well, you came here straight away.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Good for us.
So, I know, which is funny.
Yeah.
No, nobody wanted to hire beauty school girls, which is hilarious because everybody's like, they don't know how to cut hair.
Had you wanted to do guys' hair, or you?
No, actually, I went to school for makeup.
Huh.
I was gonna be like a makeup artist.
Okay.
Which I still am, so it's nice. But
segue, we're getting ready to talk about that. Okay, well, go ahead.
But so went to school for makeup artist, and then I got married, and when I got married, I had to pay like my bills, you know. So it was just like, oh, you have to pay bills now. So
you were the sugar mama.
Yeah. Well. Wait, what's that?
Well, you know,
I was like wait.
Instead of a sugar daddy, you know, you had to go to work, you had bills to pay. Yeah.
No, yeah. So had bills to pay, and then I needed a job that was like gonna pay the bills. So when I started freaking out, like there was gonna be no money, and like every time I like did an interview, they were like, oh, you have to build your clientele. You have to build your clientele, and I was like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. Like, how long is that gonna take? Like, I need.
You were hoping
money.
They had clientele for you.
Exactly. So, when they started saying that, I started freaking out, thinking like, what did I get myself into? Why did I pick this and spend all that money on school? Mm-hmm. And so from there was a Sport Clips next to an LA Fitness,
mm-hmm.
and which my husband, he was like doing that like booth stuff, and the area manager there was just like, oh, here, you know, like giving the coupons and stuff, and he was like, oh, my wife just graduated, and he was just like, and she was like, oh yeah, like have her come over and apply and blah blah blah, you know, we're always hiring type of thing. And so he told me to go. I applied, and when I did the interview, the manager, she was like, yeah, you get your hourly, your bonus, your commission, like all this stuff. And I was just like, wait, like it's not.
You don't have to build up a clientele.
Yeah, and I was just like
music to your ears.
Yeah, it was really, really weird because I was like, hold on, everybody else was saying it's either just your hourly or your commission, it's one or the other. Yeah. And so when she was saying it, I was like, hold on, like this is legit.
Yeah,
like
too good to be true.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah. And so she was like, no, I'm serious. So then after the interview, she was like, when can you start? And I was like, I just got out of beauty school, you know, like just to let you know, like, you know. And
full disclosure.
Yeah.
I'm still being perfected.
Exactly, and everybody's like, oh, you know, like once they were interviewing and stuff.
Well, you're one of those.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, this is not going to end well for me. But then she just was like excited and just like super happy, like, and I think because she was now knowing everything, she had the ability to train me. Right. You know.
She knew that they could make you into what you needed to be.
Exactly. So I was like, whenever. And so she was like, okay, well, do you want to do full time? And I was like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to be able to pay my bills, you know, so.
Wow. What store was this? What store number?
This was PA, it's in Robinson. I don't know them anymore. But
like Robinson Township or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I know that store.
Yeah, so started there.
And this is 10 years ago? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So 2009-ish?
Yeah.
And you went from there Now here's why I said the segue. You've appeared on TV for Sport Clips. You've done some stuff with X. There's a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
But I got to get to the TV piece.
Yeah.
And the look, competition, all of that kind of stuff. So set that up for me. Help me figure out how that process happened. How a stylist straight from beauty school gets hired after getting kind of turned down by other places, gets hired by Sport Clips, finds herself on TV in front of millions of people, cutting hair, and I think
awesome.
doing makeup too. I can't remember, but anyways, set the stage for me there.
So with that, I'm on the artistic team. So they.
And what is the artistic team, just in case somebody's listening to this and doesn't really know?
The artistic team is basically a bunch of stylists that help educate and communicate and break it down with people, like on what they're doing, like platform work, and you just make it fun, you know.
And these stylists are Sport Clips affiliated stylists who most of them have probably been managers.
Yeah, we've gone through the whole process
and become coaches at Sport Clips.
Yep.
And from there, a selection of, is it 9?
There,
7, 8, 9, whatever.
Yeah.
Get picked to be these platform artists, right, and represent, and trainers, and become the artistic team. So you've been on the artistic team, and all right, and continue there.
Okay, so. From there, the TV show basically interviewed the artistic team.
And this TV show is what? Like, for those that might be listening,
It's,
the look. It's...
So, the look all stars. The way I like to describe it is, have you seen Cupcake Wars?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Could be hungry.
So, with Cupcake Wars is like, they give you a box, and they're like, hey, this is all you can use in a certain amount of time. So, that's exactly what it is, but for hairstylists. Hey, here's this box. This is all you can use.
And they pair you up with another professional and some makeup, hair, whatever, dress.
Yeah, so you're a team, you're a team of 3, and you have a wardrobe artist, a makeup artist, and then the hairstylist.
Okay.
So, and then you bam it out in a short amount of time.
Yeah. And do you have is it a professional that works with you, kind of a consultant kind of thing, or?
So. Basically, I was the leader of the group.
All right.
Yeah.
So you were the professional.
Yeah, I'm like, that was me. So, and then they just called us teams. So.
And is it 2, 3?
There's 2 different teams.
So there were 2 competing teams, and they, for your episodes, it was more than one, right?
Yeah.
They gave you, was it a couple, like date night
or something?
If I remember right.
Yeah, one was. I loved it because one was a couple. You went from a day look to a date night, and how can you do it in a short amount of time, in 45 minutes. So that was crazy, but it was so good because I was telling a friend, I was just like, it was easy for me because with hair we're trained to do it in
26 minutes. Well, then you didn't have to worry about the massage. And
I know. I was like, got it in the bag. So that was one look, and then the other look was.
And was it the guys, or were you cutting both?
Both. Yeah.
In the same 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, you had to do hair, makeup, and wardrobe, everything in 45 minutes.
And I bet your background, having been in makeup, you knew what look would pair well.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was just like I felt like I was like, okay, this one's gonna be a piece of cake, you know. But yeah, no. So. And with the training too, hair is hair, no matter what it is. But with our training, I felt super prepared for the females as well, you know. So that was cool.
And this hall, is this in Hollywood? Where was this?
So this was in LA.
Okay.
Is that Hollywood? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Hollywood's
is that Hollywood?
in LA? That counts.
So
they fly you in, right? And you stay and.
Dude, it was all day. All day, morning till night, But
for a 45, quote unquote, 45 minute.
Yeah. You have to. It was just like noises, anything. When they were recording, you had the temperature had to be right. You know, it was crazy.
That's funny because when we came in here to do the podcast, you started going, hey, is that going to be a problem, the traffic outside, and is the lighting all right? I'm like, what are you talking about, the podcast? Yeah, well, we're fine. That's because you work with real professionals and not...
It was crazy seeing that, like, side of the world.
And had you known any of the other people that you were going to work with that day, or had you met any of the personalities before?
No, nobody.
And who were some of the personalities involved with the Look All-Stars?
There was Tori Spelling.
So, a.k.a. the unicorn from The Masked Singer, all right? Spoiler alert if you're behind a couple episodes on that. Okay, and...
and then...
her husband was involved.
Her husband was involved. Sam, I did know him. I've never met him before. Angus was there. Definitely met him, worked with him before because of the artistic team. And then the one that I was competing against, he was actually the face of Sally Beauty, industry. So it was just like, I'm like, wait, do y'all know who I am?
Yeah. I'm like, here you are, this little girl from Pennsylvania, started off right out of beauty school, sport clips.
It was honestly like super surreal. Like, I was just like, oh.
And how long before do you find out that day that, because another spoiler alert, you won.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, does it all happen that same day, or was there a time lag?
It did all happen that same day. So that was crazy. I wasn't allowed to say anything afterwards, but you found out, and then you just.
I'm really glad you won, because we kind of planned all this like promotional stuff. Yeah. Like, hey, everybody, watch this thing. Like, none of us knew.
I know, yeah.
Just like fingers crossed.
That would have sucked if I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're putting it out on all these social media stuff and I mean, just to be on there, I know it was such an honor and cool. I mean, no other brands were on there like that, but for you to win, and so you win, excuse me, and you got, wasn't there a follow-up episode because you won, or how did that work?
It's coming.
Okay.
So
Have you recorded it yet or anything?
Yet, no.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, so I was actually just talking to them 2 weeks ago, I think, actually. But yeah, so it's like a whole process thing. I mean, we recorded and it was like a year later.
Yeah.
Practically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to make sure that I can set my DVR and make sure to record it. So that is the story of a small town girl who just wanted to do makeup. And pay some bills with her family, who now is in Hollywood lights. You've done some other pretty crazy things that we're going to talk about here in a minute, but kind of can you take me back a little bit and just walk me through some of the highlights of I mean, this is a Sport Clips produced podcast. How did your training at Sport Clips and your experience kind of set you up for all of these great endeavors that you
No, I mean, Sport Clips literally is my life. Like, honestly.
I heard you were going to change your middle name to Sport Clips.
I did, actually.
Okay, Krystle, Sport Clips. Okay. So yeah, just give me a little feedback on what it's been like.
No, it seriously has made me who I am today. Even just with like the whole leadership stuff as well. But so started off, totally had different plans. Wanted to be a makeup artist. I started, adulting. That's what they call it. And from there, so this is what's funny, started for 3 months and then became a manager.
Wow.
And so I remember it was hilarious because my team leader, Al Rodriguez, he came in and I didn't know who he was at the time, so he stood behind me and I was like, oh, how you doing, sir? Like, go ahead and have a seat.
I'll be right with you.
Yeah. And
clients aren't allowed back here.
What are you doing? Yeah. And so he was just staring, and I'm like cutting hair. I'm like, okay, and he was just like, and he goes, I want to know what you're doing, and I was just like, what? Like, I'm cutting hair, He was just like, I'm your boss, and I was like, oh, hi, and then he was like, no, all the numbers have gone up. What are you doing?
Wow.
Yeah, and I was just like, making money,
hustling.
Yeah, and
every day.
Yeah, so. After that, he was like, no, I'm serious, did you do something different? And I was like, no, I just followed the 5-point play, and the manager said, if you follow this, you're going to make money.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm here for, And he was just like, do you think you can change that and make everybody else do it? And I'm like, yeah. And so he was like, all right. And then he made me a store manager.
3 months in, a few months after beauty school, after getting turned down because you didn't have enough experience elsewhere, and here you are on the fast track to success at Sport Clips.
Yeah, and it was insane. So from
why
there...
why didn't you just stay there? I mean, you had a good thing going.
Exactly,
You get from Pennsylvania to Texas somehow.
Yeah, so from there, they basically were saying, hey, like, we have all this stuff. You're not going to be just thrown into it. Like, there's, you know, how to make a schedule, how to do this, how to do that. All this training, like, it wasn't, I felt safe, you know, like, I felt like, oh my God, I'm not going to freak out.
And there's a safety net.
Yes.
Right? You're not on the high wire by yourself.
Exactly. So then I was just like, all right, let's do it. So I did it. I had my safety net. Then he saw that I had changed that store. And he was like, okay, I want you to hop around to all the other stores. And
so you're saying you became a hopper? Oh, nice. I like that. Okay.
That was a good one.
All right. We'll save that, you know, for later. It'll make more sense. But anyways.
But then hopped around, helped them with their net sales and how to increase sales. And after that, I got pregnant. Sounds so negative, but it's not. It was like the best thing in the world.
Right, of course.
But it was
many
scary.
of us have been there too. You're like, oh my gosh.
But yeah, and so got pregnant and
with remind me her name.
Eden Capri.
Eden Capri.
My little angel. So got pregnant, and the only reason why I make it sound like a negative is because everything was good.
Right.
You know, like, and it wasn't a negative. It was just like you're scared.
It was a disruption kind of in
like,
from the
oh
norm.
My God.
Right. Yeah. And you had known now this life for a few years.
Exactly.
And momentum was building, and now this unknown happens, right?
Yeah. So then everybody says, hey, you need to move in with your family. Not in, but like move by your family. You're on a...
Where are you from originally?
Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So this is, okay, now the Texas thing, full circle.
Yeah.
So you take their advice.
Yeah.
Right?
And then I was just like, okay. But the good thing about it is there's sport clips everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
all 50 states.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to be safe. Like,
and certainly there's the sport clips or two in Texas.
Yes.
So your safety net got a lot bigger once you came here.
Yeah. So I called, like, we got linked up, and then I was like, I wanted a store manager position, but then what's funny is they were like, hey, like, get here first, see if you like what you like, and you know. And actually, with me, I actually felt okay. Instead of not being jobless, technically speaking, I knew that I could get a store like that.
Yeah.
You know, because I knew the system.
Right.
It's easy if you're doing the 5-point play. If you're following the system, you're going to be successful.
And
like,
you
honestly.
have a career for life.
Yeah. Literally. So came over here. Area developers, Joe Klimek and
Bill Vandrick. Yeah.
They were like, they interviewed me, like, saw me, like, and they saw my resume, and they're like, hey, do you want to be a coach? And I was like, what's that?
Right.
You know.
Did you not have coaches in Pennsylvania, or it wasn't
so
as
small.
Yeah, okay.
The market was so small.
At the time, yeah, certainly.
At the time,
At this point, Rodriguez is alone now.
Yeah.
Dozens of stores.
Yeah, now, but
so they tell you, what is a coach? Like,
yeah, well, so I was just like, what's a coach?
Yeah.
And they were like, well, they train, and I was like, oh, okay, like, I just didn't know the name for it. And so...
Did that appeal to you? Is that something that instantly you're like, whoa, I'd like to try that challenge?
I did, because I love helping people. Like, if I can help you make more money, and, like, the best way I like to describe my job is, like, how can I help you make money, but, like, speak your language, you know? So I was just like, oh, yeah, and then training, like, cutting fast and, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so did it.
Were you the only, were there other Houston area coaches?
Coach, yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and so yeah.
And what year is this?
I'm trying to think right now. I'm like,
I saw that thinking
I know,
look,
I was like, what year was that? 2013?
Well, if your daughter's now...
13, right?
Yeah, how old's your daughter?
5.
Were you still pregnant, or had you had her yet?
I was pregnant.
Okay.
No, yeah.
So there you go. So 2013-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get out
Wait,
here.
Is that 2003?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's gonna be. Or 14. Let's
Okay.
it's fuzzy math.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was told there'd be no math on this podcast, but so you get out here, you start being a coach. It fits in with your family lifestyle or whatever.
Exactly. So I became a coach. A year was coaching. It was awesome, helping people, train them. You get them excited for what they're doing, not just like, hey, this isn't just a client in the chair. Mm-hmm. This is a person,
Are you bringing, by the time you have Eden Capri, are you bringing her with you on some of these? And she's in the care. Okay, no. I could just imagine.
No, but see, and that's,
her in the equipment room crying while you're trying to train or something. Yeah. All right.
No, but that's the good thing, and it was such a huge blessing. Like with our careers, like even as a stylist, like they're single, moms or like families like that can still
Every
support.
store has one.
Yeah, and that's what I really loved about it.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that. But where was I at?
Oh, you're now you're becoming a coach and
we're at a coach.
Stuff.
We're doing like these coaches trainings, and they were like, hey guys, we want to create an artistic team.
Yeah. So that hadn't existed yet.
No.
The artistic team. You start hearing the idea.
Yeah.
And it originally, the idea was to have, I think, 5 maybe members on it.
Yeah.
And so you're there for the birth of not just Eden Capri, but really of the artistic team.
Yeah.
And what was happening when the Big Bang, occurs and this thing is formed?
Yeah, when that happened, I remember being like, oh my God, no, like I'm not ready for
that. Have you ever been on stage or cut in front of dozens of people, let alone?
Not cutting. On stage, like speaking is a different story than on stage cutting. Like, like cut your knuckle off,
right.
And they train you for that.
Right. In case it happens, what to do if you cut off a finger in the middle.
No, literally.
Oh my gosh.
No, but, so they were like, hey, we're taking auditions and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? And you're nervous. You're like, am I going to be trained? Am I going to do well? Like, do I want to do this? Or, so I did it. I applied and got selected. And so I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, you made that sound so easy
that
anybody can do it.
Easy.
So walk me through, what does that process look like?
The whole process is obviously you need to work for the company.
Yeah. And crush it.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes. You have to know how to cut hair. But they're not going to throw you on there. The reason why I say that is because they pick coaches, as of right now, it's in the coach thing.
Well, and that's probably for their own benefit because they've seen you at a closer level.
Exactly.
It's narrowed the field down from 1,800 managers to dozens of coaches.
Yeah, because and so many people, and I've seen this too, like you can think that you want to be in front of people, but when it comes down to it, it's a whole different ballgame, But so as a coach, being a coach for a certain amount of time, and they can actually see you, they interview you, you do a live a clip, like why you want to be on the artistic team, and then you show them, your cutting skills and teaching skills, and so did all that, sent it in, and
and then you sit by the computer or wait for
waiting,
your phone.
Yeah.
And then how do you get notified? Is it at like a coach's huddle? Was there a phone call?
I want to say it was an email and a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And the reason I'm asking all this stuff is because just today I got a haircut from TX236. Brittany's the manager there.
Yes.
And, well, she's not a new mom, but she's had her second child recently. And she was telling me her dream is to be on the artistic team one day. And she was picking my brain like awesome. I know everything, right? And I said, well, I don't know the whole process, but I know someone who's going to be very familiar with it. I'm talking to her in a little bit. So
nice.
I wanted to kind of get to the root of how this happens because there are stylists and managers listening to this that are interested in that. So you get picked for the artistic team. What is that? I mean, is it a whirlwind tour your first year or two? What exactly are you doing once you?
You're really training the first year.
Okay.
Like honestly, like when it comes
you're
down
being
to
trained, or you're in training.
Trained.
Okay,
yeah,
so you're in training. You're not training people. You're yourself absorbing and receiving all this.
So it's kind of 50-50. Like So we have trainings once a quarter, and they just prepare you and fill you up for like, I mean, talking about like you're on stage and we'll go to beauty schools and we'll practice there, because it's the best place to practice.
Yeah.
But how you're standing, how you look in front of a camera, we record each other, like, which is nerve-wracking. But it's you're being trained. They don't want to throw you out there, you know, like it's not gonna.
Not with a Sport Clips logo
no,
on your
exactly.
Shirt, right?
So, but yeah, no. So they train you and they get you ready, and then you do like beauty shows or.
This is when you go to capers and barber expos and those sorts of things.
Yeah, it's like the artistic team is really like what opened up the door to like a whole nother like level of career life,
exposure,
like, you know,
right? Yeah.
But yeah.
And
so,
I'm sure because of this, you've met. So can you tell me some of the personalities in the industry that you literally could call on, you know, and just pick up the phone?
Yeah. In the industry, like, I mean, there's Angus Mitchell. There is.
Pretty famous name.
Oh yeah. I mean, to have them even ask, you know, for us to do like their event, like caper, like that's a big deal, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see who else. Farting in my head, like I'm not that. Erase that.
I'm not gonna.
I'm like
erase
drawing
that.
a blank.
I'm not gonna erase that. No, Julian. I mean, I know there's
Julian.
Course.
I mean, gosh, like that, to be able to be trained underneath him, you know, that was really cool. And then he opened up the door to a whole bunch of other people. I'm like really drawing a blank with names, but
I get it. What I wanted to do is I want to tag some of them in the podcast, just so you can link to them, and people can find out more about what they're doing. I mean, that's the great thing that we live now in the society where you can go follow barbers and stylists and see all this stuff on social media, and really watch their channels, see what they do, what makes them great. So.
Fern the Barber, Jason Reyes. There we go. I'm, you know, Tommy Callahan. I was like.
By the way, I'll be interviewing Tommy for the next week for his podcast. Yes, I will, and I got to call Ramona later today. So his wife.
So it's just like it was a whole nother world. Like, but you like Sam Villa, like they. So many people, like even outside of barbering or in the industry, like, well, say in the industry, like, are like, hey, you want to come and like, you know, do a tutorial, train people, blah blah blah, and I'm like, heck yeah, like that's amazing, you know, but.
And it's really led to some cool opportunities. I love. I mean, we just had the X Games.
Dude, that was insane.
You gotta tell me. I mean, I'm watching the X Games. First of all, I'm seeing our competitors were sponsoring some of the athletes out there.
I saw that.
But then I was like, yeah, but we got actual stylists
We're actually in there,
doing the haircuts. So what was going on in the X Games?
So we set up shop.
This is Brackenridge or Aspen? Where is this? Aspen. Okay.
Yeah. So we set up shop. There's a bunch of different barbers. And then me and Gabby, which we were with Sport Clips, which was awesome. But what I love too, which is crazy, is that barbers cut a little bit slower, you know. But because of our training, we were like da 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 da, you know, like so it was really cool. But
2.2 an hour.
Yeah, right. Very true. But I loved it, like just being able to cut like people's hair, like. That are famous and you know
and have a conversation with them and not be intimidated.
Gold medals and I'm just like
they won gold medals because of the haircuts.
Yeah, obviously. Duh. But no, it was insane. It was awesome. It was really cool.
And you've done stuff with Give Grooming. I've seen. You just
Paul Mitchell. All of them, and it's really cool. Like Sexy Hair, we did one of them, but. I love you would never think that it opens up doors to places, you know. It's really cool.
What are some of the, you know, I'm going to start winding this down here a little bit because I've been fascinated, but I know you got to run. What are some of the challenges? Obviously you had an unexpected life change and you had to adjust from that. It turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Any other challenges that you met along the way that you had to find a way to overcome that maybe could inspire other stylists to get to the point you're at today? Any periods of self-doubt, or I'm not good enough to do this, or have you just always plowed through and found the silver lining?
I think with anything that you want to move forward to, you're always going to have self-doubt. And it's just like, can I do it? Or, like... What gets you to break through that barrier, though? Like, what possibly is on the other side, or you just wanted to test the limits on, I got to see if I can do this? It's more of that, but then also, like for example, with this career, like, I know... it's so big and so broad. It's like, it's not just sport clips. There's so many different avenues within it that it's not like I said earlier, it's my life. It technically is, because I feel safe and I'm like embedded into it, But if, like, for example, when this recent change I just did, I was like, I want something different. Like, what can I do, And instead of freaking out or going somewhere else, I was just like, I knew I had the whole safety net, and I was going to be safe and I was going to be okay, So for me, for me in the career, and for everybody else out there, you're going to have to ask, ask. If you want to go somewhere, ask. If you want to do something, ask. If you have a vision for something, let it be known. If you can't, and it's okay if you're going to get a no or something in the beginning, but you just have to keep pushing forward. I think the hashtag I'll use for this podcast will be safety net, because it feels like that's the luxury that's been afforded for your career. Oh yeah. Right? And countless others, but the fact that this brand is stable, it's all over the place, there's opportunities everywhere. Yeah. And you can do things like right now you're working with Hopper's last name of the team leader. That's why I said it would come full circle. And you're working with their group, but then it gives you a little bit more flexibility to do some of these other events and it's really stuff, cool. To travel and it's like, once you get into the safety net, you're a family. Yeah. Like that's what I love too. It's just like a big family. And I've met so many people. They're Sport Clips for life. Yeah. Literally. Like I said, you changed your middle name for us. Sport Clips. Come on now. But that's cool. And what's next? What do you envision, like your dream scenario involved with Sport Clips and your career? Is it the next episode of the Look All Stars? What is out there that you say, I know this is like shooting for the moon, but I want to try to do this? Franchising. Okay, really? Yeah. Oh, all right, yeah. Well, you definitely know a thing or two about Sport Clips and. I love numbers. Yeah. Okay. I'm definitely a geek. Okay. But don't tell anybody. So team leader. So future team leader, Krystle. Well, this has been amazing. Can I ask you? I got 10 just random questions. Yeah. Let's go. And then we'll stop the audio version. I do want to talk to her about her kiddos and what life is like. As a mom with her schedule and all that kind of stuff. But we'll save that just for the YouTube version. For the audio version, I have 10 questions to wrap up to wind this down. So question number 1, which superpower would you most like to have? Superpower. I can't answer for you. I know, I'm like, what are, So you got invisibility, you got fire, walking through fire, not being burned, you got flying, you got incredible strength. I was about to say, I think strength. Strength, so like the Incredible Hulk, is that kind of, without the green color? Yeah, okay. So, or Wonder Woman, she's kind of strong too. I like that one, okay. Strength. All right, number 2, what is your personal motto? Isn't it motto? Okay. Here's why I say motto. Here's why so, newsflash here. Here's a little insight. Because I once interviewed one of my favorite, she's now a coach, but she was a manager and stylist, and Spanish is her first language. And so when I said motto, I said it real fast. What's your personal motto? Mm-hmm. And she heard model. So she thought I was saying role model. And so she answered it. And shout out to Lucy in North Carolina. So now I say motto to really enunciate that I'm not saying your model, but what is your personal motto? Or, a phrase that you live by? Mine is if you wish love in the world, create love around you.
Cool.
So
I haven't heard that one yet on a podcast.
yeah.
Other than where you live now, where else in the world, you got the whole world here, would you most like to live? And you've been to Hollywood, you've been to Aspen, you've been to New York City, but you got the whole world now that you get an option.
This is really hard. It's either a beach or a city.
Okay, so like a New York City or
major.
You know.
If I could live there, maybe
Fiji.
New York City.
Okay, yeah.
But if I'm like relaxing, actually, I wouldn't be able to live off a beach. Like I would be too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So New York City.
Okay, New York City for the vibe, the energy, the hustle.
Yeah.
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 I love going there too for that reason. But then I couldn't live there.
Really?
I think it's a nice place to visit. But then after 3 days, I'm like, oh,
my nickname used to be New York.
Okay.
Because
your nickname, you got middle name, Sport Clips. Number 4, who is a celebrity you'd most like to meet one day?
Oh my God, Angelina Jolie.
Oh, wow, that was easy. Okay, Angelina, we're going to tag her in this to see what happens. Number 5, which words or phrases do you most overuse?
Bro?
Okay.
Bro, dude. Babe.
I was going to say like.
Like, I do say like a lot. Yes.
What sound, number 6, what sound or noise do you love?
Sound or noise? My kids laughing.
Oh, cool. What sound or noise do you hate?
Smacking.
Like
eating while you're
I thought you meant like
what's that called?
Yeah, smacking while you eat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll remember that and I'll chew with my mouth closed next time around you. What profession other than your own would you have been good at or at least have wanted to try?
Professional volleyball.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you play like recreation?
For fun,
okay.
yeah.
Did you play in high school like regular volleyball? Nice.
Yeah.
And you setter?
No, spiker.
Oh, wow.
We did all but
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
That I would have definitely.
And do you like beach volleyball or indoor?
Love it.
Okay. So that's why. So when you're on vacation at your beach, you'll play volleyball.
Always.
Number 9, what do you consider your greatest achievement? And we've
My
listed
kids.
a lot. Your kids.
My
okay,
kid,
out of all the things that we listed, you're going to go with kids.
I think it's a hard job. To raise
hardest.
children.
Yes.
I'm like, when you know they're being good, I'm like, gosh.
Yeah, no, I love that a lot. I love when I hear parents say that. Number 10, last one. Then we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up. and we'll wrap up the audio version. And then she can make fun of me on the video version some more. If heaven indeed exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You made me proud.
Oh, that is awesome. Hey, speaking of making people proud, you make Sport Clips proud. We love you. Glad to have you and personalities like you and people like you. Thank you for changing your middle name to Sport Clips as well. I mean, you represent us so well. Keep it up, and we know the sky's the limit for you. So thanks for being on here.
I love you
Appreciate
guys.
it. Okay. Thanks again.
Bye, guys.
Look forward to having everybody in the next episode. Talk to you then.
Bye.
All right, that one's good. Sweet. You did it.
Was that 37 minutes?
37 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. That was excelente. I'm going to still roll with that one.
Okay.
So, Eden Capri and your son is... Duke William.
We call him the Duke.
He's 2?
He's 3.
3 potty trained yet?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
A boy
bro.
potty trained by 3? What are you doing? What is the secret?
I potty trained him in a week, and Eden took only a day.
Well, girls will definitely get it quicker.
I know,
yeah,
I heard
they're
that.
so
I'm
much
still
better
proud.
at that. Yeah. So he's potty trained. He's 3. She's 5, so she's in kindergarten.
She's gonna be in kindergarten.
Okay.
Her birthday came after.
Okay.
the whole
Yeah.
thing,
So she's in preschool right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both are.
And they both live out here.
Yeah.
Okay. And how is what does your day look like? Like when do you get your kid? How often do you get to see them? Is this all?
So I do the. It depends too. Like it's like when you're a stylist, you have like a crazy schedule. But like for example, today I'm gonna do a pep rally tonight at a store. So but they
Are you
go
guys
to
gonna do
school.
the karaoke video?
Should we? Should I make them?
Yes.
Okay.
That is the whole point of
Okay,
pep rallies in February is to do the karaoke
Okay,
video.
I'll make them do it.
That's what you got to do. Please make it happen.
Okay, I'll make it happen.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So your schedule's a little different on those kinds of days because you got some flexibility.
Yeah.
So you get more kid time days like this.
Yes.
Except when some knucklehead drags you in for a podcast
No.
in the middle of your kid time.
No. It's super flexible, super. Yeah, I mean they go to school.
Do you ever take them on any of these out of town trips, or is that just too crazy?
Yeah. I think if it was more fun, not more fun. I mean, for me it's a blast, but kid fun. You know what I mean? Or if there's a town where I have family there, like that would be cool. I've done it when I go to Austin and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so. But yeah, no. So yeah.
For me, I take each kid. I have a 14, 12, and 10-year-old. So they're.
I met
You met Ryan?
No, which one did I meet? The young one.
Yeah, my son. We were in Texas. So once a year, at least, they get to go on a work trip with Dad if they want. The teenagers, she's too cool now. The 12-year-old hates getting out of school. So, but my son, he's like, yeah, where are we going next?
Aww.
And his favorite city that we've been to is St. Louis.
Why?
Because they have this thing called a city museum, which is it was a shoe factory back in the 20s and 30s. It's 20 stories high. And they've converted it into like this kids' playground. It's five stories of jungle gyms and.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, they have on the 20th floor a slide that goes all the way down to the first floor, and so they have a whole wing that's like ancient Egypt.
Where is that?
St. Louis.
Okay.
And so every trip I'm getting ready to go on is like, is it St. Louis? I'm like, no, son, we're not.
Sorry.
I'm not going to St. Louis again for a while.
They need to make that everywhere.
So, anyways, I'm just throwing that out there. When your kids are old enough. And you can take them, St. Louis is the destination of choice.
Definitely too. Yeah, no, they're amazing. Eden's like super into like. She's just should make a painting for you. She's a little painter.
Okay.
It's insane. Like crazy.
Are you artistic too, or?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean that kind of artistic. I know every style at heart is artistic, but. I mean, actually can draw. And
I'm not like, we don't draw. Like, I'm not like a drawer. I'm just like a painter.
Right, yeah. You see it and then you put it on canvas or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Abstract painter.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, Duke is very like, he's like into superheroes right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
already he's getting that, ingrained in him.
Big time.
He's going to be a man's man.
Yeah. Big time. It's funny. When do so Eden does these things where she'll like have to put like everything together. I don't know if she's gonna be like an engineer or something. Like it was crazy. I'm like, what are you doing? Duke is very particular.
How do they get along?
Oh, best friends.
Yeah.
Seriously, I am so happy. Thank God for that.
She's like future babysitter when she's old enough, and
Yeah, maybe. I can tell.
Well, she's a firstborn, so she'll be super responsible.
She already is. She's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. She's a mini me because I'm the oldest of 8.
What? Oh man, that could have been a podcast in and of itself. So, what are the age ranges?
30.
You don't have to say a little bit. 30 something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the youngest, what year are we in? 2019. So she turns 9 this year.
Whoa! Yeah. You're kidding me.
Yep.
See, I'm 13 years older than my only sister. So I
You're
was
older?
Yeah, I'm 13 years older.
That's like 13 years.
Yeah, so I mean, when I went to college, she was in kindergarten. So I mean, I always feel like, shoot, I missed out on a lot of her life, Yeah. But are you close in age to a number of your siblings, or is there a gap?
All of us, we're
all. Is it the same marriage, your parents, or was it a second marriage? Okay.
Yeah. We're all like super close. Like this weekend, all of us were together. And then we all have kids, and so it's really cool. Yeah.
Is everybody here?
No.
Okay.
So there's Austin and Dallas.
Okay, so everybody's in Texas at least.
Oh yeah.
That's tremendous.
Yeah. One of the reasons why we moved back over here. But yeah, so that's funny. Everybody freaks out when you say 8.
Yeah, no, that's massive. We have on my daughter's soccer team. my 12-year-old soccer team that I coach, we have a family, love them to death. I've been coaching this girl since she was, 6 or 7 years old. And yeah, she's one of 8. There's 2 sets of twins in that family, back-to-back twins. So it's like the brother, sister, and then twins, and then a baby. So yeah, it's the mom. I mean, the dad's amazing too, but the mom, she's just like the most amazing woman. Yeah, exactly. So all moms are superwomen, you know.
I can't have any more.
Yeah, you're done. You're ready. You're
oh my
like
God.
done
I'm like
too.
one for each hand,
and one of each.
Yes.
I mean,
and
you
so
got
happy.
those are the golden tickets. It's like now there's no pressure. So for me, I'm the last Jordan. So when we started off and we had girl.
Oh yeah, you freaked out.
My dad's side of the family was like, all right, boy.
What's going on?
Yeah. Are you gonna have a son or what? You know, like I can't. I don't control that. And then my son came and we nicknamed him It because he's it. That's it. No more.
Oh, nice.
We're done.
That's awesome.
But hey, this was a blast. You did an amazing job. Thank you so much. So we'll wrap this up, get you out of here, and I'm only 15 minutes over, but that's because I set up. We started late. So.